Okay, the other person said that it couldn't, excuse me, couldn't during the
Mhm.
section, the meeting.
Exactly. Okay, so now we're recording this session. This is our sixth encounter of English conversation, and today we're going to talk about Cambridge C1 Advanced, which will be your task for in which you will participate in an interview with another mate in order to get your points for this task. Okay, so remember that we are currently developing the task tool. Oh, yes, the task tool, and you need to take a screenshot of this encounter in order to complete your journal. And also, I want you to remind that you need to subscribe for task two, for task four. Um, the link was sent through your internal email or the forum of this course. So you have to check that and date the date that it is more appropriate for you. Okay, so the English, the speaking Cambridge C1 Advanced has um, five phases, but we're going to focus only in the speaking one. And this speaking one have four parts. Okay, so the structure of this interview will have four parts or four moments. So first, we have to take in mind that the time is very important in this activity. The interview it is going to last for approximately 15 minutes. So you have to be very strict with your answer and try to give specific answer, but with interest, with interest details of your answers in order to show that you have a good manage of the language. Okay, so remember also that this encounter is going to be shared with another mate because it's an interview in which you're going to participate with the tutor, interviewer, and another mate to share this interview. So the conversing about yourself in the personal questions, taking account hobbies and interest, sports, school or work, technology, weather, very simple thing related to you and your environment. Okay. Then we continue with second part. This second part it lasts for around 4 minutes. Okay. So yeah, so in each candidate will be asked to speak for 1 minute about a set of pictures. So in this set of picture, each one will have a moment. Candidate A will have 1 minute to speak about the pictures or to answer a specific question about those pictures. And the candidate B will have 30 seconds to talk about those pictures or to answer a question about those pictures. So this is going to be like the part one of these of this set or the set one of this part, and also it's going to be a second set of pictures, but in here we change the roles of the candidate. The person who has 1 minute to speak, sorry, in this moment, now that that person will have just 30 seconds to answer a question about the second part of the pictures, and the person who has 30 seconds will have 1 minute to talk in this moment. Okay, it's clear, Javier?
Yes, Tutor, is clear. In this part, the two candidates have to change the roles. The first one who begins have 1 minute to present the ideas about the pictures, and the other part have to answer a question about it, what the other person talk. And then they change the time. The other have 1 minute to speak about other pictures, and the candidate A in this case have 30 seconds to reflect or talk about something about the picture. It's a specific question that the other part
Yes,
said.
yes, Javier. It could be a specific question, or it can be in a general way. Maybe there is not a question, and you just have to speak about what you watch in the picture. So if it's like that, you can compare specific details that you can watch in the picture, like actions, the weather that you can watch or that you can imagine in the picture, clothes, or the activity that people is doing, if they are happy, if they not, things like that. But if there is a specific question, try to answer that question. Don't try to give general information, which it doesn't correspond to the question, because if you go for those parts that are not related to the question, so the teacher will think that you're not understanding the point. And if you're not understanding the point, it means that you are not or paying attention, or that you don't have the right competence in order to have a conversation with other person, and it is going to affect your grade for this activity. Okay. So the third part of this activity, the third part, in the third part is a collaborative part. So remember that you have a mate, which who you will share with this moment. So in this part, you will have a conversation with that person. You will have like 4 minutes, maybe 2 or 4, I'm not sure. But in this moment, the tutor will show in which you will have questions and some ideas around that question. You and your partner in the interview have to try to go in those minutes to go for an answer or a solution to that question. Okay. And I want to remember all the time that you have to be very conscious of the time, because if you start to speak and you don't finish to speak, your mate won't have the time to speak also, or to make the conversation with you. Because if you take too much time speaking and the tutor says stop, it's because the time has finished and your mate didn't speak. So if you watch, for example, we have in this example, we have what might people have to consider when making this decision. So you can start the conversation by making a question or asking a question to your mate about one of the ideas that are around that question. And when you finish to talk about those ideas that are outside of that question, you can try to give an answer or a conclusion to the answer. Okay? Yeah, a conclusion to the question. Okay?
Okay, tutor is clear. In this part, the two
Mm-hmm.
may have 2 minutes to talk. For example, the interlocutor show you, for example, the first one that you said, what might people have to consider when making this decision. When the person began, can choose, for example, choosing a university and taught something important about that decision, and try to interact with the other person, asking what their opinion about that. It's like have the opportunity that the other person participate in that conversation. I have to share the time, as you said. It's possible that you don't be so extensive with your answer, and the other person couldn't speak too. The idea is to organize that ideas and have the opportunity the other person speak too.
Exactly, Javier. And also, it is important if you are with a mate that don't have a good range of vocabulary, and you can notice or you realize that that person is not taking advantage of the time, or you're realizing that if that person continue trying to look for the vocabulary in his or her head, you won't have time to speak. Try to help them, try to help that person to continue to finish the idea and continue with your intervention in order to you speak. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the final part is the fourth part of this activity is is according to the third part. For example, if we in the third part spoke about sports, so we're going to go deep in on questions about sports. Okay, so you have to be like prepared for more questions about the topic that you spoke with your mates in the third part.
Yes, tutor, is clear. The fourth part is an a continuum, and the person have
Yes.
5 minutes to interact. There are some questions that have relation with the, the other topic.
Yeah, the topic in the third part. Yeah. Yeah, because the idea is to check your skills of the speaking. So the idea is that you speak the more that you can, but taking in mind that the time is very important here, because 15 minutes go quickly. So if you start when the tutor is asking for some question, and you start to uh, the time, okay, and the idea is not losing your time, advantage of that, in order to show that you have a good range of vocabulary, in order to show that you have a good fluency, and those kind of things that will help you to have a very great.
Okay, okay, tutor. In this part, it's very important that the maze review the material of the course, because there is a lot of examples and different pictures that you can connect ideas, and it's possible to
Exactly.
have a possible answers of those questions.
Exactly. Exactly. That is the idea, that you have to prepare yourself, because Well, now, Angela, are you listening? Angela is there.
Yes, teacher. Teacher Sandra have problems with the internet.
Yes. Well, with Gerson and Sandra, I don't know. Okay. With Gerson and Sandra, we have to help them in order to recover these 13 points of this session. Mm, but well, I have to speak with them later or tomorrow in order to do something to recover those points. Okay. Okay, Angela. So I was explaining to Javier the fourth part uh, of the yeah the fourth part of the Cambridge C1 Advance. That is the fourth activity that you will have for this course. It will be an interview with another mate and your tutor. Uh, this interview have four parts. Uh, and here the time is very important because each moment will have a specific time that a specific time that you have to take in mind because if you don't speak correctly, if you don't use the time correctly, you won't be you won't have a good grade because if you don't speak fluently in the moment that you have to speak, you there won't be more time than the 50 minutes, and if the time ends, you won't have the opportunity to recover or to express your idea to your tutor because it will be 15 minutes and no more than that. Okay, Angela?
Okay, teacher.
So I was explaining to Javier that the first part of this activity will, will last like will last no more than 2 minutes. In this part, you will be asked about personal information. This part is just a conversation about yourself. In this part, the tutor will ask, for example, if in the interview is you and Javier, each one of you will have 1 minute in order to speak about yourself. But the interviewer is the person who has to make the question. It's not like, well, you guys have 1 minute to speak about yourself now. You will have some question, and like you can watch in the screen, there are some examples. But the idea is, for example, the well, let's make an example, and I see how you guys answer, and I'm going to give you a feedback. Okay.
Okay, teacher. I read the first part.
No, 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 don't worry. So I'm gonna take the time. I'm gonna take 1 minute for Javier and 1 minute for you, and I'm gonna make some questions about you, about your life, about your interests, about things that you guys already know. Okay, and you will have 1 minute. Remember that you will have 1 minute just for answering the um, not like, for example, where are you from? I am from Cartagena. No, that's not the idea. The idea is that you guys show that you know vocabulary, that you guys can express your idea in English. And if you answer like that, is the tutor is going to about the okay. For example, if someone asks me about where I am from, I can answer, I am from Cartagena. Cartagena is a beautiful city located in the north coast of Colombia, and it is a very touristic place. You see, this is different than saying I am from Cartagena. Do you understand?
Okay, teacher.
Yeah, the idea is to show your abilities in speaking the language, okay? And take advantage of the time. If I have 1 minute to show my abilities, I have to go with everything that I know and try to show that person that I know what I'm talking about and that I understand what I've been asked in order to give a specific and a full question about that question. Okay, sorry, a full answer for that question. Okay, so let's start with Javier. Javier, you will have 1 minute, and I'm going to make some question, but just 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So Javier, do you have any hobbies or interests?
Yes, I have a lot of because I'm a person that like to practice sport. I like to play basketball, football, and try to play with my son different table games.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Giron Santander. It's a special place because it's a city that is very tourist for his balconies, for his story, and have a colonial architecture.
Okay. And what do you do there?
In this moment, I relax because I finish my job. I'm resting at home and I is studying.
Okay, that's good, Javier. Okay, that's the idea, Javier. Perfectly, perfectly, and that's the idea. Not just giving the specific detail that the person is asking the question, but try to give a plus in that answer. Try to give some information that the other person said, "Oh, that person know who what is talking about." You know? Do you understand, Angela?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, okay, so now let's go with you, okay? 1 minute and you have to answer some questions in that minute, okay? Okay, let me take the time. Hello, Angela, where do you live? Angela? Angela?
Oh, okay, teacher.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
hello,
let
teacher.
me take the time again. Let me take the time again. Don't turn off the microphone in order to not waste time, okay? Let me take the time again. Okay, let's do it again. Hello, Angela. Where do you live?
Okay, teacher. Hello. I live in Bogota, at south of Bogota.
Okay. Do you live with your family?
Yes, I live with my father, my mother, my sister, and one and my father-in-law.
Okay. What kind of activity do you like to do in your free time?
Okay, in my free time, I like read text in English. Um, I like the sports, in special football, and my favorite hobby is watch movies in English.
Okay, time. Well, you take once more, but since this is an information that you already know and that you guys already know how to express that information in English, the idea is that you just practice a little in order to go with fluency to that interview, because you already know what you do and you already know how to express what you do and what you like to do in English. I think so. So just try to practice that information that you already know about yourself, in order to take advantage of the time in this first part. Okay, but that's the idea, to give the answer, but to add something interesting to that answer, to show that you know more vocabulary than saying I am from Colombia or I am from Bogota. You know that you need to express more with the language. That's the idea, to show that you know more vocabulary, to show that you know more words to describe objects, to describe places and things like that. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so Javier, help me please with the second part in the first set of pictures. Okay, in its part.
Teacher,
So the sec,
I,
yes,
I don't hear. Uh,
and now you can listen to me.
yes. Now,
Okay,
now it's
okay, so in the second part, Angela, the idea is that you have to describe um, a set of pictures. Um, in this moment, it could be in a general way, or also can be an answer for a question according to those pictures that you're watching in the screen. For example, in this moment, there are two questions. The first one, why do you think the people might be doing these things together? That's a question. And there is another question. How might they benefit from this experience? So since there are two questions, you already know that you have to answer those questions. And you're not going to talk in a general way about those pictures. So in this part, you and your partners will have 1 minute and the other one will have 30 seconds in order to answer those questions. But you will have another set of pictures, and in this set, in the second set, the person who has 30 seconds to answer now will have 1 minute to answer the first question, and the person who had 1 minute to answer the the question in the first set will have now 30 seconds. Okay, it's like to make a balance in order to hear you speaking. Okay. Everything clear, Javier and Angela?
Yes, tutor, is clear.
yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Okay, so in this moment, Angela is going to be candidate A, and Javier is going to be candidate B. Okay. So Angela, I am going to take the time and you're going to answer the first question. Okay.
Okay. Um, okay.
Okay. Now.
Because they are blowing the trumpet at the festival.
Okay, Angela, let me stop the time. The idea is that you use all the pictures that you're watching to answer the question. Not about all the pictures that you're watching. You can compare, you can describe, but try to use all the pictures that you're watching to answer the question. Okay, let's do it one more time. Go ahead, 1 minute.
Uh, I can describe the image. Yeah.
But look at the question that you're watching above the pictures. So you will answer the first question, but try not to give just like the specific thing, but try to give that answer in 1 minute. Okay, try to give more details, try to explain your answer, try to give more information in the answer in order to show that you have vocabulary, that you have fluency. Okay,
The people.
so Angela, yes, Angela, I'm watching the chat. Javier, can you hear me?
Yes, tutor, I hear you.
I think that Angela can't. Angela, Javier is listening to me and I can hear him clearly. So, and I was listening clearly to you. I don't know what happened. But you have your microphone off. So I don't know if you were talking and you haven't realized that you have your microphone off. Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to continue with Javier. So Javier, try to answer the first question in 1 minute. Okay, so remember, you have to answer, but according to those all questions that you're watching, not just focusing in one picture. Okay?
Okay, tutor.
Okay, so you can start now. I'm gonna take the time. Now.
Okay, I select the person who are working in the bakery and the other person that is skating. Okay,
Mhm.
I think that they have worked together because they get experience because it's an academic, and it's possible that they get perfect with different things that they make. And the other part, I think that one person is teaching to the other person how to skate, and he takes his hand, her hand, and gives security, because you know that it's possible the other person has nervous to skate alone. Is a great activities that the people can do with other, with get experience and get fun, because the picture that the very the people is smiling and they are doing with good attitude, and I think is great for those part are learning new things in life, and it's very important all the day to learn different things.
Okay, Javier, time. So that's the idea. Okay, not focusing on one aspect or thing like that, but you can explore more vocabulary by the information that the picture is showing. Okay, like feelings, like emotions, like the experience that you're watching that they are having in the pictures. Okay, because if you just go with a simple question, you will have a lot of time in silence, because uh, for example, why do you think people might be doing these things together? And if you say it because they are collaborative work, anything else, I'm just going to run it and put so much vocabulary, and you can now give more information about what you're watching, since your vocabulary is limited. Okay, so the idea is to answer and adding more information to those answers. That's the idea. But taking into account that you have time to answer those questions. Okay, you're doing great because you are like very attentive to the time, and you try to answer uh, no more using no more than the time that you need, or less than that, and that's good. That's the idea.
Okay, thanks, Tutur.
Angela, are you listening to us? Angela, maybe it's your internet, because Javier and I are talking clearly. Okay, try to do that in order to complete the second part of this of the part two. And Gerson also said that he was supposed to connect, but he didn't connect. He didn't join to the call, or I don't know if he's listening. Okay, I'm gonna try to call Gerson. Okay, Javier, let's move to, because Angela is still there. No, I don't know. Gerson, what's wrong with his internet? Angela, are you listening? Did you leave from the call and join again? I don't know. I didn't realize that. Angela, are you listening? I would like to complete the third sample with you and Javier. Angela?
Hello?
Yes, Angela, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so I would like to I would like you to practice this part in this second section of the pictures. Can you watch the screen? How it is showing is sharing the screen. Angela?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so
Okay, so
as I was
as I was
explaining,
explaining,
in here in the part of the pictures, you and the partner that you have in the interview will have one of you will have 1 minute and the other will have 30 seconds. And then in the second section of the pictures is going to be in the contrary. Okay, the person who has 30 seconds to speak about the pictures will have 1 minute, and the person who have 1 minute to speak in the first section will have now 30 seconds. Do you understand, Angela?
Okay, teacher. Describe the image in 20 seconds.
Yeah, describing can be describing the pictures if that's the point. But if there is a question for the image of the picture or the pictures, you will have to answer that question in 1 minute. You have to use completely the time. For example, the question here is, how might the people be feeling? Your question cannot be, they are happy, and the time is counting, the time is running. So you have to give more information, give more complex sentences in order to fulfill the time, in order to spend your time speaking. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Because the idea is that you show your abilities and your vocabulary, your fluency, and those competence with the language in order to be evaluated. Okay? So I would like you to complete this exercise answering the first question that you're watching in the picture. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute and you will have 1 minute to answer the first question, okay?
Okay. Okay. Um. How make the people be feeling?
How might the people
Might
be feeling?
the people be feeling? People feel peace in a land space like this, and it seems important to me and improves peace for the soul.
Continues. Okay, Angela, I think that you're not understanding. You have to use completely your 60 seconds. You have to keep speaking during the whole minute. Okay, you have to use all the minute, completely the minute to speak about that.
Okay. There is a man looking at an interesting landscape and mountains characteristic of the United States. Uh, I seems important to me, but in my profession is very important. See others lands speech and different cultures that inspire at learning each day new language.
Okay, Angela, but so remember that you have to speak directly about what you're watching in the pictures. So don't go uh, to things that are a part of those characteristics that you're watching in the pictures. You have to concentrate on what you're watching there and try to compare, try to analyze, try to give information about what you're watching. So try to and maybe try to practice that can be used in the moment that you would need to describe the picture. Okay, like feelings, emotions, um, some adjectives that can describe the moment that people is having in the picture. Okay, so remember that in this part one person have 1 minute and the other have 30 seconds, and in the second section of the part the person who have 30 seconds will have 1 minute, and the person who have 1 minute will have 30 seconds now. So then the third part of the interview is a collaborative conversation. So since you're sharing the interview with another person, the idea is also to look or to checking to check, sorry, your competence, your communication competence with the other person. So in the third part, you will have a topic or a question with several ideas uh, that you need to speak about with the other person. So the idea is that not just one student speak about the or try to answer the question, but you have to have a conversation. So so Javier, let's move to the third part of this please of this yeah, this one. So in here we have like some graphics, like an examples in which we have one questions, and around the question we have some clues, some keywords in order to keep speaking during the 4 minutes and trying to give an answer to the question. Um, Gerson, are you listening? I haven't realized that you were in the call, Gerson. Mm, I think that Gerson still have problem with the internet. Okay, so in this part, the idea is that you have a conversation with your partner. Don't use the time only to speak you, because you also need to share the time with the other partner. And if you speak alone, so the tutor won't meet your ability to speak with another person. So try to make short answer according to the information that you're watching in the graphic in order to have that conversation. Speak clearly, speak with a good intonation and a good pronunciation so that your mate can understand what you're what you're saying. Okay, that's the idea in this point. So Javier, let's move to the next page, please, in which we have some examples. Well, I like more the second one, the second example. Let's move to the other example, Javier. This one. So, for example, in this graphic, the question is, how difficult might it be for people to make these hopes and dreams come true? So the topic here are hopes and dreams for people to come true. So, and there are some keywords or some dreams or hopes that people have, like buying a house, traveling to the moon, getting a car, becoming a sports star, or visiting foreign countries. So the idea is that you have a conversation, uh, talking about how difficult it is to have uh, each specific hope that is around the question. And finally, try to answer the whole question as a conclusion. But remember that it is a collaborative work. So it is a conversation, and you make like from the conversation you make um, the answer. Okay, you respond the whole answer to the question, but after the conversation. For example, I don't know if Angela Gerson is listening, so I'm gonna do this example with Javier. Okay, Javier, can you listen?
Yes, tutor.
Okay, so the idea is let's try to do this in 2 minutes. Okay,
Okay.
but currently it will be like 4 minutes. So the idea is that we already know the question, but we can start speaking about the ideas that are around the question. Okay. So, for example, Javier, do you already have a house?
Yes, tutor. I have a house, and I think it's great because when you have to pay for a rent, it's difficult because your money is not enough to supply different costs that you have. And what do you think about it? Is an impossible thing, or you have a house too?
Oh, well, I already also have a house, but I think that it is very difficult since nowadays we have many commitments that make this like an impossible trip to have a house. And would you like to have a car, or do you think that it is a dream now?
In this moment, I have a car, but I think that I want to replace for a new one. And I think that I have to organize my money and try to use it and keeping more to have that dream, because now it's very expensive to change it. And what do you say that is important for this? What is a possible tip that you can give me for that?
Well, actually, I can tell you that saving money is the best advice that I can give you, since sometimes it takes a long time, but if we are organized, we can save a part, and you can pay the other part month by month. I don't know if it's a possibility for you.
Yeah, but it's difficult because there are other dreams. For example, I would like to travel around the world and visit different places. I hadn't the opportunity yet, but I think with I organize some money and time, I could do it one time. And tell me, have you traveled and visit other countries?
Yes, but all of that, all those dreams, I have become true since I have saved money in order to complete those dreams. I have been to Brazil. I have been to Peru, and yeah, but you have to save a lot of money. So I think that it is difficult for people to make these hopes, and more if they are alone. But when you are with a partner and you can share some responsibilities, you will have more opportunities to become your dreams true. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's difficult because when you are alone, it's your money. You have only to pay for your food. It's possible for the, your hotel or or the place where you live. When you have a family, you have to think with other person. For example, if you have a son, you have to pay the school and other things. But I think that when you dream that, you can get that dreams come true. Is working hard and always think that you can do it. I think it's a good purpose and a good thing that the people have to prepare for that, because there are a lot of opportunity in life. If you are not prepared,
Okay,
you lose it.
okay, Javier. We last 4 minutes talking about this, and we finish with the conclusion or the final response to the question. So that's the idea. Okay. To have in mind that if your partner is talking way too much, and is not finishing with the answer of the question, and they are his or she is not talking about the rest of the ideas that are around the question. The idea is like intervention is like to interrupt softly, not being rude, but it's like saying, hey, the time is running and we have to finish or to give the final point of this conversation, because you will have just 4 minutes in this part. So it is also up to you not to extend or to make long questions, because it will take too much time in order for you to organize the question and for the other person to answer that question. And imagine that if that person don't understand the question, you have to repeat the question or to repeat your point, and it is going to take too much time. Okay.
Okay.
And finally, well, our time is finishing, but finally, yeah, let's move to the final part, Javier, the other one. The this is some people can scroll down. The other one, the next one. Yeah, this one. So you see that in the last moment we were talking about hopes and dreams. So in order to go deepen on the topic, uh, in the fourth part, the tutor or the interviewer will ask more questions about that topic. For example, Javier and I make the example of hopes and dreams, and we can find more questions about that topic in here. So in this part, the interviewer, you have to be very attentive, because I don't know if your partner in the call is Gerson and he answered the first question. How important is it for people to have hopes and dreams? The second question could be the second question that it is in the list, or maybe a second question that you can imagine, but not. The second question can be according to what your mate said. Okay, so you have to be attentive and listen listening to your partner attentive, and you have to speak clear and your partner also in order to answer, or yeah, to answer with to answer quickly the question that the tutor or the interviewer asks about the information that your partner or you are giving to the question that you are answering. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but that's the idea. I think that it is easy. The thing is to practice and have vocabulary in order to keep speaking, because if you give just a simple answer, if you just give a simple answer, uh, you will have a lot of time left. Okay, and that is bad, because if you have a lot of time left and you stay quiet in silence, the tutor will think that you don't have more vocabulary to speak about that topic. And if you don't have vocabulary to speak, that means that you don't have fluently in the language. Okay. Okay, guys. So that is was the explanation for this tag. Remember to take the screenshot of this activity in order to complete your journal for task 2, and also remember to subscribe for task 4. The links was sent to your internal email, and also I think that was posted in the forum of the course. So subscribe on time in order to attend the fourth activity of this course. Okay, guys, thanks for being here, for attending the encounter, and have a good night, guys.
Okay, tutor, thanks for your time and for the explanation. Is great. And thanks.
Okay. So, Angela, thanks for attending the encounter. So, tomorrow in the morning.
Sorry.
Okay, Gerson, and recording of the session, guys.